I was up. I hit rock bottom. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video.
Sean Love Combs, aka Sean John Combs, aka Diddy, born November 4th, 1969. Not even a year ago, life was great for today's feature. In September 2023, Diddy was given the keys to the city of the most popular place on earth, New York City. A key to the city is derived from the medieval days where cities had large walls that enclosed them, and getting a key to the city meant you could leave those walls as you pleased. In modern terms, a key to the city is bestowed upon the most honorable residents whose contributions are considered important to the city's growth and development, and goes to show they were appreciated. Honor is an ironic word to use when describing Sean Combs 6-7 months later, days after he released an apology video for the actions the world played on all platforms and all forms of media for billions to see. Of course, I'm referring to the footage of Diddy physically abusing his then-girlfriend Cassie Ventura back in 2016. Prior to the video being released, Diddy vowed to fight for his name to make sure the truth comes out. He said he didn't do all the awful things people were saying he did, and that enough is enough. His son even dropped a diss track against all the people that left his father's side amid allegations of physical, mental, and emotional abuse he caused Cassie, and against the feds, only to have the video evidence released a week later showing those awful things now caught on camera, beating a female he swore to the world he never put a hand on. At this point, the career growth of Diddy is over, no doubt about it. He's reached his final plateau, so hopefully the business he's made before this ordeal made him lots of money to fall back on, because I don't see how he himself, in his name, can ever be invited to any table from here on. There's two things in this day and time you don't want to have alleged about you: being a Chris Hansen target or video of you hitting a female. Of course, the other way around, it doesn't matter, and that's the reality of the world we live in. But let's be clear, both these actions are unacceptable, and I will say that men putting their hands on a female is much more serious, seeing the physical damage that can be done. What Diddy did was despicable, and the thing is, he's had negative allegations thrown at him all the way back to the early 2000s, the way he dealt with the artists he's had signed to his label. Business-wise, at least in the music industry, Diddy's name was synonymous to doing bad business that heavily favored his pockets and left little for the actual artist. It soiled his name and assured his fall from grace, but what's interesting is none of his peers have stuck by his side, many of them unfollowing him one by one, and these are 3 important reasons why. Let's talk about it. It's your boy JC, Stunt Growth Music. Let's get it, man. Take a minute to like, subscribe, and comment on who I should do next. Sean Combs is a producer, music artist, entrepreneur, and hip-hop icon that was important to hip-hop being as marketable as it is today. Many actually give Diddy credit for leading the charge in hip-hop, changing its clothes, attitude, and content in the name of crossing over mainstream, as from the late 90s to early 2000s, Bad Boy Records and Sean Combs had the Midas touch when it came to mainstream urban entertainment. Everyone loved the making of the band shows, the hits upon hits he's been involved in, and the example he set for black boys to see that you can be anything you want in this world, including a billionaire, and received a key to an important city. A key, by the way, Mayor Adams threatens to revoke from Diddy, which would make him the first American to have their key to the city revoked. From the 90s on, Sean Combs has had an important hand in breaking many music, fashion, and business careers, but to what extent? If he could do this to the woman on his arms, imagine the other things he's done, many of them slowly being released to the public, and for these reasons, no one with anything to lose is standing by his side. Reason number 1, to keep locks on their own closets. Like mentioned, being a woman beater is top 2 worst things a famous businessman could ever be, especially when there's video footage of you committing these actions. Diddy has made tons of powerful relationships over his uprise, as to be a powerful person, one has to rub shoulders and gain favor with other powerful people to even be allowed in the room. The majority of them have already unfollowed or denounced Diddy publicly, like LeBron James, Steph Curry, Kim Kardashian, TD Jakes, 50 Cent, Ellen DeGeneres, and even Shine Poe, a 90s rapper signed to Diddy back in the day, who took a shooting charge and 10 years in prison for his involvement in protecting the cash cow. Justin Bieber, Usher, even Young Miami, his girlfriend before it all crashed down, and many more have distanced themselves over the past few days, and one reason is to keep their own closets locked away from the public eye to be scrutinized and judged as Diddy's being now. As they can see, it's not going so well for Sean Combs, as his arrogance led him to his official nigga wake-up call, as the great Paul Mooney would say. We've all made some mistakes, there's no question, but most people aren't famous and can wield power around to their advantage and have the world fall to their feet. With great power comes great responsibility, and in the past, responsibility went out the window, as there wasn't a great chance you would be caught in Diddy's heyday without social media. Anything you do now is closely watched and spread, and an irresponsible bribe or side deal or abuse can end everything you've worked for. With that said, who knows what other celebrities who've stepped away from Diddy have done in their past, in a time when those things were easily hidden or looked past, that they would like to keep stashed away. Being even seen with Diddy can greatly hurt that, and is why some of his peers are silent in the matter. Reason number 2, guilty by association. Not all people that rise to fame and/or power have nasty skeletons in their closet, to be fair. There are some good individuals out there that aren't using their power for destruction and to take advantage of lesser powered people, but as the saying goes, birds of a feather flock together. To stand anywhere next to Diddy means you're either a professional yes man with nothing much to lose, one of his true friends who has forgiven him for his behavior, or you see Diddy at his lowest point and look at this situation as the perfect opportunity to get with him as some fake show of loyalty that Diddy might remember later. After all, Sean Combs is still a rich man. Either way, it says a lot about anyone still publicly following him on his platforms or doing public business with him at the moment, as you'll be looked at sideways as if you're okay with the footage we've seen of Combs slapping, kicking, stomping, and even throwing things at Cassie as she tried to get away. Guilty by association would be the public goal, and they may switch their focus to you instead, seeing what you have hiding in your closet of interest, or that can bring you down as well. I think at the moment Diddy will say and do anything to get back in the good graces of the people, as he's a people person himself that seems to love and need people around at all times he can control. Not saying the people around him deserve the guilty by association tag, but understand, standing next to him, it's likely you'll go down with the ship too. Reason number 3, his past reputation. Standing with Diddy in this moment we laid out is a dangerous decision to say the least, and speaking out for him can mean you may be done even worse than he is being right now, while he has the money to insulate himself and at the end of the day may financially survive. But many have decided against coming to his defense because of how they were treated in the past in some way while being around or in business with him. Back then, when Diddy was on the rise, he stepped on and over a lot of people he didn't necessarily have to, like his own artists, for example, like Mace, Aubrey O'Day, and Fred from Making the Band, who have all publicly and emphatically denounced Sean Combs on social media. Jaguar Wright, industry artists, Roger Bonds, and Gene Deal, former security for Sean Combs, and others have been much more direct and much more personal for years, trying to get people to see Diddy for who he really was. And now that he's going through all this, they too have turned up the press to make sure he's affected greatly and deservedly. We all know about the bad boy curse, where most his artists are either dead or in jail, or lived and died broke without a care in the world from Diddy. Mace literally had to catch him on air in order to get his publishing signed. Diddy is a serious and ruthless businessman who, from my perspective, seems he'll take from anyone he can to prop himself up, and no one is safe. This behavior afforded him little as far as real friends that will even publicly still support him. All in all, Diddy is definitely cancelled after seeing him perform so arrogantly on camera. To do such a thing to a person and not care about the cameras you have to know are watching. He allegedly paid $50,000 to the hotel to suppress the footage, which in 2024, there is no suppressing anything. But it shows he thought he was above the law, above certain people, and in serious need of the negative attention he's getting. His apology doesn't matter, as he'll say and do anything to cover himself right now, as just a week ago he vowed that the truth will come to light. Well, it has, but not like he hoped. Wrap him up and get him out of here. It's your boy JC Stunt Growth Music, and I'm out.